Continue on with our driver media availability. We're now joined by the driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, Jimmie Johnson.
Cobalt Tools.
Cobalt Tools this weekend. Sorry, thank you. See, I didn't even look at my notes, and I should have. The number 48 Lowe's Cobalt Tools Chevrolet. Jimmie Johnson currently second in points, coming in here into Phoenix. Your thoughts about racing here? You're pretty good here.
Yeah, great track for us. Excited to get on the track and get going. And obviously we've got some work to do. We have a points margin to make up. And just excited to kind of get out there and stop thinking about things and just get to work.
We'll go ahead and open it up to questions from media. I've got Jay, and then Tom, and then Jim Utter.
Jay Yahoo Sports. Just might as well kick it off. Considering where you are in the points, how good Denny is running, is this a must-win race for you?
We got to beat him. I'm not sure where they're going to finish, but I would, again, want to expect the best, or need to expect the best out of them, and that's going to be those guys running up front. So we need to lead a lap, hopefully lead the most laps, and win the race. But again, at the end of the day, it's relative to where he's running and where he finishes, and just don't know until we get on the track and get out there and see what goes on in the race.
Jimmy, Tom Jensen, Speed.com. In the 6 prior editions of the Chase, no one's been leading at this point and lost. Why is it so hard to make up points this late in the year, and do you look at that, and does that concern you?
Man, I really don't focus on stats all that much, and I'd heard about this, that stat coming into this weekend. I don't know why. I mean, I certainly want to believe that it is possible to come back, especially from such a small margin that we have right now. But I'm not sure why it hasn't happened. And honestly, out of the, we've had, how many, 6 chases? It's not a lot of time. I mean, things can change, pretty quick with only 6 years of having the chase.
Okay, we got Jim, then Lewis, and then DC.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. First, on behalf of Kerry Tharp, who isn't here, congratulations on the Associated Press Male Athlete of the Year.
Thank you.
And number 2, I didn't want you to go a weekend.
I almost said something too, but I already got him once on the Cobalt Tools thing. So,
some of the comments that Mike Ford said last week were kind of directed towards. He seemed to insinuate that there was something wrong with people like perhaps you guys or even RCR wanting to win a championship for the company rather than the team in question. Number 1, do you have any? Aren't we well past the stage of where everyone at the company has some sort of vested interest in what you accomplish this season? And number 2, if your roles were reversed, would you have any problem contributing towards another Hendrick driver's championship hopes?
Yeah, there's no doubt that if we were out of the points, didn't have a chance to win, then I would do anything I could to help my teammates win. Without a doubt, if the roles were reversed, I would offer the same thing up for Jeff Gordon's team or Junior or Mark Martin. So, without a doubt, I think that at the end of the day, the comments made, they're to be expected. And you have a team that's fighting for their first championship. They won the race. They did everything they needed to do. We certainly didn't have the day that we wanted and or the situation that we wanted on pit road, and we did something that was different. So I think amongst all of that, it was very easy for Denny and for Mike to give some comments. And I would have to imagine that anyone in that position would take an opportunity to put some heat on the 48 team, or if it was the roles were reversed. So I expected some comments. There certainly were some comments. We don't necessarily believe in the fact that we're taking something away from our guys. We are Hendrick Motorsports. That 2448 shop is one unit. Yes, it is not the ideal situation, but if we win the championship, everybody's going to be there in Las Vegas, having a great time and celebrating as a team like we always would.
Lewis, Frank Reuters. Hey, Jimmy. Last week there were some more post-race comments. I'll leave the name out, but saying you guys practiced mind games in the past. But with 36 points races every year, how much is any Cup competitor affected by mind games?
From mind game standpoint, we don't intentionally do much of it, if any at all. I think we've been very fortunate in the past to have our performance on track speak for us, and it's just really hadn't been a need, and we just focused on doing our jobs to go out and win races and lead laps and put pressure on the competitors. So I'm not smart enough to play mind games. I just get in the car, I do my thing, and I go. And the fact that people think so much about what we're trying to do ends up being a mind game in its own. So they're almost Jedi mind tricking themselves.
Okay, we got David, and then we're going to go downstairs. We're going to go to the press box, and we'll come back here with Bob, Dave Coleman, and Newton.
David Carrell, NASCAR.com. You know Pastrana a little bit. Were you surprised by the news yesterday, and what kind of learning curve is he going to face in Nationwide?
We've been talking a little bit, and I knew that NASCAR was a big interest for him. I talked to him maybe 2 weeks ago, and he had mentioned that he might run some races and what my suggestions would be. And, of course, it's seat time. I mean, we've seen more examples of people coming in that are very talented from other forms of motorsports come in and struggle. So I've just been advising him to get as many laps as he can. It doesn't matter if it's at a local late model track, if it's in the Camping World East or West Series. But when you go into the Nationwide Series, you've got to show up ready. And I certainly hope that he will take all the steps necessary. And you'd think with the partnership with Michael Waltrip that they're very aware of that and have some established have the established Camping World East Series team. So I'm excited for him. With all that being said, you won't find a nicer guy out there and somebody that really cares about motorsports. I think he'll bring in some new fans. And then to our fan base here, he is plenty colorful and will keep everybody entertained. So I'm excited for him.
Got a question downstairs?
Shannon Spake, ESPN. Jimmie, talking about the deficit, it's really uncharted territory for you, at least since you started your championship run. How have you maybe had to adjust the way that you think or the way that you approach these weekends?
Yeah, every year is going to be different. Last year we were in a different position coming out of Texas and kind of on our heels a little bit with the crash that we had. Other times we've been here, we've really wanted to race hard and win the race and separate ourselves from the 24 one year and even the 99 in the past. So I feel like I'm in familiar territory, although I am in second and behind the 11 right now. It's about performing here, and it's really simple that with the small margin we have, we still feel like we have plenty of control in who's going to win this championship. And if we go out and do our jobs as a team, lead laps, win races, that we can be the ones sitting at the head table in Las Vegas. And we firmly believe in our hearts that we can do this. We're looking forward to the challenge.
All right, we're back upstairs. We got Bob, Dave Coleman, and David Newton.
Bob Hockerstein Daily. Was there any part of you that wanted to go back and use the guys who had started the race for you last week for these last two races? And is there anything you're doing to kind of get to know your new over-the-wall guys?
I know all the guys that are going to be pitting the car this weekend. It's just tough, and there's a lot that went on and took place at Hendrick Motorsports amongst all the department heads, crew chiefs, and the guys themselves as to what this week was going to look like and moving forward into the end of the year at Homestead. We feel that the change this weekend has brought a lot of excitement to the race shop, and sometimes just changing things around a little bit works well for teams. We've seen it with the RCR guys. And I could say that whoever would be pitting the car this weekend is really genuinely excited to win a championship. And the guys that are going to be doing it this weekend, they are fired up. And we feel that we're going to get the best out of them. It's certainly a tough decision, and my heart's out to my 48 guys that won't be crewing the car this weekend. But, it's go time, and we need to make a decision, and hopefully a decision that's the best for our race team to win a championship this year. And only time will tell what that decision will turn out to be.